Hi, I'm Liban Mohammed, and I'm the founder and CEO of Alterius Group. We approach fundraising the same way the best companies in the world approach go-to-market and sales, and we do this for both fund managers as well as private companies and startups. And so one thing I want to chat to you guys today about is a very powerful statement, which I think holds very true, which is the fact that investors don't invest in numbers, they actually invest in stories. And so when we look at most fund managers today, they struggle not because they lack good opportunities, but because they fail to craft a compelling narrative that makes LPs want to lean in. So let me show you how we took a niche fund that was struggling to raise its last 20 million bucks, and by tweaking their story, we unlocked a $30 million commitment from a single LP, which actually was a very unconventional investor for this type of strategy. In this case, they were actually a real estate giant that decided to put together a $30 million commitment. By the end of this video, you'll understand why narrative is your most powerful tool in fundraising and how you can use it to attract investors who aren't even looking at your asset class. And so most fundraisers follow the same formula, right? Build a deck, do road shows, chase warm introductions, and hope and pray for commitments. But here's the issue, right? Investors and LPs get pitched hundreds of funds every single month, right? They don't remember your strategy, they don't remember your numbers, they don't remember the team, but what they do remember are stories. And the problem isn't the opportunity that you're putting in front of them, it's actually how it's positioned, right? So I'll give you an example. So a media fund that we were working with was trying to raise from media investors, but they're struggling. And when we shifted the story, it actually became a real estate play. And so let me quickly walk you through that case study and how we were able to reframe that narrative. So there was a fund that we were working with. They were primarily in the entertainment space in Asia. They were raising 50 million bucks. They had already secured a $30 million anchor. But after 6 months, they were just completely stuck. So their biggest problem was that they were only pitching to media investors who, quite frankly, saw it as too risky, right? And so instead of pitching it as a media fund, we actually repositioned it as a strategic real estate marketing play. And so what we did was we saw what Blackstone was doing, investing in Hollywood production studios. And our new pitch became, what if your investment in media also doubled as a marketing engine for your real estate portfolio, right? Primarily in the case of this investor, they were investing in hotels all across Asia and other commercial real estate assets. And so it almost became like a dual return model where their hotels would actually get eyeballs via the shows and entertainment and films, and they'd also make a return from the underlying asset that they're investing in. So we were able to stop chasing these media investors and instead targeted real estate conglomerate groups, hotels, and tourism-focused LPs. And the new story around this real estate-focused play just resonated generally because it connected to their core business. And we were able to send out thousands of emails to these real estate focused groups. We leveraged AI to craft hyper personalized messaging that made these LPs feel like we understood their business. And one of those meetings actually was Fraser's Properties. And so Fraser's is a multi-billion dollar real estate giant, right? They weren't even looking at media investments to begin with. But when we framed it as a dual return model, i.e., you get the marketing and financial upside, they saw the vision. And so within 2 months, they were able to commit $30 million. And they didn't invest because they love media, but they invested because we were able to tell the right story that resonated with them and their core business. And so again, right, investors are just buying the stories, not just the data. The numbers are actually a small part of the story, right? If you look at what the narrative is all about, narrative is really just track record, right? Your pedigree of the team, the strategy that you have, all packaged into one and basically told in a very emotionally driven, momentum driven story. And so the one thing to note here is that if LPs are not responding, you might be just telling the wrong story, right? Most funds focus too much on their product and what they're doing and not enough on why it matters to LPs, right? The right positioning can actually unlock very unexpected investors, right? Like I mentioned, our client was chasing media LPs for well over 6 months on their own. And even we tried going after media LPs for a bit for like the first maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But a real estate giant cut the biggest check, right? And at the end of the day, cold outreach works, but the narrative has to be compelling in order for that outreach to work, right? It's not all about just blasting emails, but it's about crafting that right story and then being able to couple that with the right volume to get it in front of the right people. So I hope that's helpful. If you're a fund manager or you're a startup founder that's struggling to raise capital, maybe it's not your strategy. Maybe it's your story. Drop a comment if you'd like for me to break down another case study. If you need help crafting a fundraising narrative that actually works, let's chat. I do have a link below for the Calendly. I'd love to learn more. Like and subscribe for more insights on capital raising and investor psychology. Thanks, and talk soon. Bye-bye.